Right, welcome back. This is as far as we got last week when we were doing this picture, using some of the techniques that we'd learned. We did wet and wet on the sky, wet on dry for the hills and the greenery around here. And then we laid down the foundation as we'd done before. In this case, I used a purple because the color I'm putting on top is a bit yellowy. And if you mix blue and yellow, you get green, and I didn't want green. I prefer a browny color, so I have used purple. Right, well, both. Now, I have been standing here trying to decide, am I going to put the roof in first, or am I going to do the front of the building first? And I still haven't decided. I think the best thing to do is to make a color. I've got two brushes ready. One is my pen, and the other is a 2, because if you look at the painting, there's these little things up here. Now, if I had a steady hand, I'd be able to do them with my 10. But because my hand is shaking like an old woman, I've gone for a smaller brush. Which gives me that point. Nice little point. Okay, I'm still prevaricating, as you can see. Right, go for broke. I'll do the roof. So now if I look at that roof, it's looking at it, it's sort of alizarin, but not quite. That's a bit, whoops. I want it to flow a bit more than that. So that's a bit red. It's as thick as that because I've just put the paint in the little pan there. So this is fresh straight out of the tube. And for that reason, it's a little bit thick. There we are. Now, it's not quite that color, I think, myself. There's, ooh. See how the paint clings. Right, so I think I need to put a bit of brown in that. I'm using burnt sienna. Again, the paint is wet. And you see how it's just taking the bluey edge off the color. That's okay. Right. Now, I'm going to screw my courage to the sticking point and do the roof. Will you all not breathe while I do this? Right. Now, I haven't got the point. I've got a sort of flat edge there, which is going to work nicely for me. So I do that. Now it comes down here and it goes across here on top of what I did. Can you see what I did before is altering the perception of what that roof, of the color that roof is. And so, although I'm just putting the same color on everywhere, the bit in shadow is showing up differently. Now, I've got to get this angle right. Otherwise, it doesn't compute. There we are. Right. And if I switch to my little brush, and I add a touch of blue. No, not blue. It wasn't blue, was it? It was purple. If I take some of that there, what's that going to do? I'm trying this out on another piece of paper. What's that going to do? Sorry. It's a bit darker, isn't it? But too much blue. I think that might do it. Rolling it around, trying to get a point. See if I can put those two. Still managed to bend it. Here we are. So that's, let's put it down there so that it fits together nicely. There we are. So that's got the roof on. It's still a bit red, actually, for what I want, but we'll see what happens when I put the other colours on. So I can lie that down now. Right. Now the next thing I need to put on is, I need to work this part of it. Sorry, this part of it here, the orangey and the front. The front is a bit broken up. So when I'm doing that, I have to be careful to get that part of it right. So if I start with alizarin, not too much. We all know what a beast alizarin is. And I think I used ochre for my yellow. So let's see what kind of color we get if I use ochre. I wasn't thinking. What I usually tell you is if you want a light color, start with a lighter color and then add the other one. That is going to take forever to get the color I want. On you. Give to Mummy. I suppose I'll do it the other way. Start there. This is what I usually tell you to do. You know, start with a lighter color. And then add, show the brush. And what has that given me? That's okay. That'll do fine. Right. Now then, I can get this side in very nicely with this. I don't think I've got enough paint, so I better make some more. Otherwise, I'll be trying to demonstrate how not to paint. Show the brush. Yeah. Right. So, let's see if I can get this angle right. Well, that one is up. That one. Oops. A bit clumsy. Put that down there. I don't need to worry too much about what's going on here because the colors that are on top of it are darker. Now I need to spend a bit more time here doing the right thing. So there's this bit here. Let's see if I can get the four in. 1, 2, 3. Okay, is that adequate? Okay, so there's a space, quite a wide space. And we have to get in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's that one. Leave a space. Leave a space. And there. And you can see also that the color has changed. Right. Come on down here. Come on. Come on. This way. There's something going on here. I think there's a creeper up there, but I'll just put it in as it is at the moment. I can put the creeper on top of. I'm trying to keep the slant. I'm failing miserably. That's basically how it is. And then there's all kinds of woofle down here. Okay. Now, if I rinse that one out and pick up my little one again, I want a real dark. Put the dark here where the windows are. So I'm going to use some burnt sienna. And ultramarine. These make a lovely dark. And they're both nice and soupy. So I think that's a bit too black. A bit too much of a contrast. So I'll add a bit more as brown. Add a bit more water. A bit more brown in there. Just makes it a slightly more interesting black. I don't want it too stark. What is that going to do? Well, it's not bad. Pardon? Sorry. Sorry, I was doing that one. That's reasonable. It's not black. Now, get it in the right place. My inclination is to put it in the middle of the splodge I've just put down, which is not where it is. And it is small then. And if you get it wrong, it doesn't matter. And closer to that side. I'm trying not to put it in the middle. I'm trying to push it that way because when you're looking sideways, you see more of this side of the frame. So the window itself is the frame on this side is hidden. This looks like they've got the shut of it. I can't see that one down. There's a bush under there. And there's a lamppost here, which I haven't put in. Oh, I'll get there. Right, now while I've got this on the brush, I'm going to add a lot more water to it. If I add a lot of water to it, I get something a bit more like that. Sorry, a bit more like that. So it's paler. So, start to This bit I can't see down here, so I'll just leave that. I'm not happy with that roof, but we'll sort that out later. Right, now, while we've done that, and we've got that colour, I can start to think about these roofs over here. What the heck are they doing? Yeah. I'm not quite sure what they're doing, but they're doing something. There's sort of roof-shaped things. This goes practically straight across there, isn't it? I think this comes more like that. And then there's something up there which is different. And something there like that. And they actually come up against this and click into it a little bit. There we are. Right, okay. I'm just moving around the picture. Now I can put the trees in here quite handily. So there we are. Yeah. So I've got water on my sky. I'll clean it. Okay. So I need a green. Let's find your space, isn't it? Excuse me while I mop my pans. If I'm going to keep true to my suggestion, I'm going to use yellow ochre or raw sienna, whichever one I've used, and ultramarine to get my green. And quite a bit of it, so quite a bit of color would help. That's the wrong one to wash it out in. Now, what's that like for consistency? A bit pale. Right, it needs to be thicker. So I need to have more paint, less water. You see life collecting the paint. That's getting better. Let's try that and see how we're getting on. I want it a bit bluer. And of course, that's altogether too blue. Pardon? Right, okay. Right. That's a bit too. Okay, so we've got a little bit of tree here. Where's that line? About there. Right, so, and then we push up a bit of tree here. And then it goes over here. I'm just pushing the brush up to get the sort of shape that I want. The pointy shape there. I have no idea what that is. So And then the shapes. I have to have a look at another look at the pictures to find out what's happening there. This one goes quite high. It comes down over here, whatever it is. Okay, that's working not too bad. I've got to do something about that. It's bothering me. Is it dry? Don't touch it. Is it dry? Don't touch it. It's just too red. It was dry. I've taken it down a bit. It might have taken it down a bit. Again, I can return to that later. Put this side of it in now. And there's all kinds of buildings out that side. Right. I'm tackling the picture bit by bit. I'm not trying to do the whole thing in one fell swoop. Using that little brush, and the same mix as I used for the roof with a bit more brown in it. How are we doing for time, Rachel? No. That's better. Right, we can put this roof on here now. And this will be there. There seems to be some about that. I'm not happy with them all being that colour. I'm going to put something in there that's different. Is that what chimneys are? I've probably got a little thing or two. We tend to do that. It just adds to the fun if you put it in there. Right, okay. And that has come in very badly there. So let's see if we can tidy that up. Just a silly shape. Right, we've got a window there. And just here is the angle of the different part of the building. Okay, it's coming nicely. Now, this wretched building has not got any windows open at all. They're all shuttered, straightly lofted bars, and they've painted the shutters, bless their hearts, the same colour as the best building. So it is no help to a girl. However, if I put a light, don't want it to bleed if I can avoid it, so I'm leaving a little line. It's a bit stuck out there. When that's dry, I can go back and put something vaguely looking like shutters on there. Is that better? There's something funny in the stated down. Right, that is coming quite nicely. That's beginning to make sense. Let's see if we can make sense to the other side. Okay, so we had quite a dark roof there. If I use the dark that I made there, add a bit more blue to it. Do I like that? That's not important. Now then, this comes in. I look at this. The top of this roof comes in above that line there. And I haven't got that line there right. I've got it straight. You know, that's life. That line should come downwards at a slant. And I haven't got it like that. So anyway, not to worry. We'll just carry on with what we've got. Do as I say, not as I do. So it starts about there. And it comes in at an angle. There, like that. That's as far as I'm going to report myself today. Now, if I get my yellow ochre, the yellow ochre itself is going to be too pale. I need to dirty it a bit. So I'll mix it with some burnt sienna so that it makes a slightly dirty colour. Not bright like that, because this is in shadow. And the fact that this is got a bit of orange in it isn't going to worry me one little bit, because that just adds to the interest of the picture. And then we can take the dark that we mixed. And again, I'm just leaving a space. I want to get it in. I'm not. Comes down to there. This is a long, low building. Gives you coffee shop or something like that. There. That just gives you enough to show you where it comes to. Now, if I also put in, just as a wash like that, this building at the back, brown off that red a lot more again. And look at this. This here should be darker. Then we have halfway down there, we have a bit of a roof and point. And then it comes down here. Like that. And you really cannot tell where the roof ends and the building underneath it begins. There isn't that great white space because of another darker building which comes off here at an angle. I'll leave that alone. Right, so all I've done is to move the painting down a bit. Try to succeed where I failed, to get these lines at an angle, because it does make the picture read better. Okay, so, you know, eat the elephant in small bites.